everyone, and welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. Today we're going to be tackling spot Bitcoin ETFs.
Right.
Now you might be thinking, okay, another ETF deep dive, but hold on.
Yeah.
We're digging into some data from trcrypto.news that suggests that these ETFs are absolutely on fire.
Really?
Right. And we're not just talking about a little spark. This is a full-blown inferno, at least according to one expert. So buckle up, because we're going to unpack exactly what's fueling this ETF frenzy.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
And more importantly, what it could mean for your portfolio, if you're interested in the crypto space.
That's for sure.
Exactly. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future deep dives like this.
Definitely do that, guys.
All right, let's get into it. This trcrypto.news article highlights some pretty eye-opening stats, and it starts with Bloomberg analyst Eric Balchunas, who points out that spot Bitcoin ETFs have already pulled in a staggering $4.2 billion in inflows this year. I know, right? That's 6% of all ETF flows in 2025, and it's only January.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's a really strong start to the year, especially considering these ETFs only launched a little over a year ago.
That's what I find fascinating. They're not just surviving, they're thriving. We're talking about over $40 billion in net inflows since they launched, with total assets under management, or AUM for those in the know, exceeding $121 billion.
Huge.
I know it's huge. But here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, so spot Bitcoin ETFs are actually outperforming ESG ETFs in terms of total assets.
Interesting.
Now, ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance investing, which has been a major focus for a lot of investors.
Oh, yeah, big focus.
Yeah, ESG ETFs are holding around $117 billion in assets, while our spot Bitcoin ETFs are sitting pretty at $121 billion.
Wow.
And the returns are impressive. We're talking a whopping 127%.
Dang.
What do you think is driving this shift? Is Bitcoin becoming more appealing than ESG-focused investments?
I think it's definitely a possibility, It could suggest that investors are increasingly viewing Bitcoin as a valuable asset class, maybe even a hedge against inflation, with everything going on in the economy.
Right.
But we also have to consider the possibility of FOMO, fear of missing out, driving some of this investment.
That's a good point. People see these ETFs doing well and they want to jump on board before they miss out.
Right, exactly.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Totally. But regardless of the motivation, this performance begs the question, what's the future of spot Bitcoin ETFs, especially when compared to other popular assets?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of other assets, we can't ignore gold, the classic safe haven.
Of course, the OG.
Balchunas pointed out that spot Bitcoin ETF net assets are now roughly on par with gold's spot price.
Interesting.
What implications do you see in that for listeners who are thinking about diversifying their portfolios?
It's definitely something to consider, Gold has long been considered a safe haven asset, and now we're seeing Bitcoin mentioned in the same breath.
Yeah, but it's important to remember that both gold and Bitcoin have their own unique risks and potential rewards.
Right. This isn't financial advice, folks. Do your own research, and remember, CoinTalk Podcast is here to provide you with the information you need to make informed decisions.
Always good to emphasize that.
Speaking of other options, what about Ethereum ETFs? Are they experiencing the same level of enthusiasm as their Bitcoin counterparts?
Good question.
It seems like Ethereum ETFs haven't quite caught fire in the same way. They saw a respectable inflow of $130 million year to date, but it pales in comparison to Bitcoin's success. Why do you think that is? Is it simply the first mover advantage of Bitcoin ETFs?
It could be part of it. Bitcoin has a longer track record and wider recognition.
For sure.
Which may make it more appealing to some investors.
Makes sense.
But it's also possible that Ethereum's own technical complexities or the perceived uncertainty surrounding its future development might be contributing to this disparity. It's interesting to think about. And then we have the flood of altcoin ETF filings, Solana, XRP, Litecoin, even Trump, and Dogecoin. It seems like everyone wants a piece of the ETF action these days.
I know. It's crazy, right? It's like the Wild West out there.
It is. Balchunas makes an interesting point about this. He believes that while altcoin ETFs might grab headlines, they'll likely be fighting over scraps compared to the Bitcoin ETF giants.
Yeah, he's probably right.
So basically, Bitcoin ETFs are the main course, and altcoin ETFs are.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a side of fries. I'm not sure I'd call them scraps just yet, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early. Still early in the game for these altcoin ETFs.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe a Dogecoin ETF will become the next big thing.
You never know.
But for now, let's shift gears and focus back on the daily performance of spot Bitcoin ETFs. They've had 6 consecutive days of positive inflows, which is pretty impressive.
It is, yeah.
We're talking significant numbers here. They hit a peak of $1 billion in inflows on January 17th and over $805 million on January 21st. Amazing. But there was a slight dip on January 23rd, with inflows slowing to $188 million. That slowdown coincided with the market reacting to former President Trump's crypto executive order. Could that be a coincidence, or is there a connection?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on. Political developments can definitely have an impact on market sentiment, and that includes the crypto market.
It's true. So the question for our CoinTalk podcast viewers is this. How much influence do you think political events will have on the future performance of spot Bitcoin ETFs?
That's a great question. It'll be interesting to see how things play out.
Now, before we move on, let's take a closer look at some of the specific spot Bitcoin ETFs that are driving this growth.
Yeah, let's dive in.
As we mentioned earlier, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, or IBIT, has been a major player, bringing in over $2.3 billion in new investments this year.
That's a lot of money.
It's amazing to see such a well-established financial giant embracing Bitcoin in this way.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
And we can't forget about Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Trust, also known as FBTC, which has attracted over $1.1 billion in inflows.
Another big player.
Fidelity is another big name in the financial world, and their involvement speaks volumes about the growing legitimacy of Bitcoin.
Definitely.
It really does. And then there's ARK Invest and 21 Shares collaborative effort, the ARK 21 Shares Bitcoin ETF, or ARKB, which has also been a significant contributor to the overall growth of spot Bitcoin ETFs.
It's a crowded field.
It is. It's great to see this kind of innovation and collaboration happening in the crypto space. It's a sign of a healthy and maturing market.
I agree.
Absolutely. But before we get too carried away with all this positive news, it's important to remember that investing in Bitcoin ETFs, or any investment for that matter, comes with its own set of risks.
Right, of course.
That's a crucial point. While the potential rewards can be substantial, it's essential for investors to do their due diligence, understand the risks involved, and only invest what they can afford to lose.
Couldn't agree more.
Exactly. And that's where resources like CoinTalk Podcast come in. We're here to help you navigate the exciting world of crypto with informed insights and analysis. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell.
Yeah, do it.
We've got a lot more crypto goodness coming your way.
Definitely stay tuned.
Now let's circle back to those altcoin ETFs that are making headlines.
Yeah.
What's your take on their potential impact on the broader crypto market?
Well, it's still early days, but their emergence could potentially introduce a new wave of investors to the crypto space.
Interesting.
And with more investment comes more innovation and development, which ultimately benefits the entire crypto ecosystem.
That's a great way to put it. But while some investors are excited about the potential of altcoins, others remain skeptical. Do you think altcoin ETFs have any chance of catching up to Bitcoin's dominance?
That's a great question, and I think the answer is we'll have to wait and see.
That's the beauty of the crypto space, right? It's constantly evolving, and there's always something new and exciting happening. And that's why it's so important to stay informed and keep learning. And that's where CoinTalk Podcast comes in.
Absolutely.
We're here to help you make sense of the crypto world and stay ahead of the curve.
Stay tuned.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future deep dives. We got a lot more crypto goodness coming your way. But for now, let's take a break, and we'll be back in a moment to continue our exploration of spot Bitcoin ETFs.
Sounds good. Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. Before the break, we were talking about the incredible performance of spot Bitcoin ETFs and their potential impact on the broader crypto market.
That's right. We covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much to explore. And one topic we can't ignore is the potential approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States.
Right.
This has been a long-awaited development for many crypto enthusiasts.
It's definitely been a hot topic for a while now. As you know, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has been hesitant to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF, citing concerns about market manipulation and investor protection.
Yeah, it feels like they've been dragging their feet for years.
It does feel that way.
But many believe that a spot Bitcoin ETF approval in the U.S. would be a game changer.
Oh, for sure.
opening the floodgates to a massive influx of institutional investment.
It would definitely be a major milestone for the crypto industry, potentially legitimizing Bitcoin even further in the eyes of mainstream investors.
Right.
But it's important to remember that the SEC has a responsibility to protect investors, and they're going to be very thorough in their evaluation process.
That's true. They don't want to rush into anything and risk, potential market instability.
Exactly.
But while we wait for the SEC to make a decision, let's talk about some of the other trends that are shaping the spot Bitcoin ETF market, particularly when it comes to investor preferences.
Okay, sounds good.
One trend that's really interesting is the increasing demand for thematic ETFs.
Thematic ETFs.
Yeah. These are ETFs that focus on a specific theme or sector, like clean energy, artificial intelligence, or in the case of crypto, things like decentralized finance or DeFi,
Right.
the metaverse, and even gaming.
So it's like investors can tailor their crypto exposure to their specific interests and beliefs.
Exactly. And this allows for a more nuanced approach to crypto investing. It's not just about Bitcoin anymore. Investors can now choose ETFs that align with their individual investment goals and philosophies.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool.
It's amazing to see how much the crypto ETF landscape has evolved in just a few short years. And speaking of evolution, there's another trend we need to touch on: the growing focus on ESG considerations in the crypto ETF space.
Right. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance, and it's become a major factor in investment decisions across all sectors, including crypto.
It seems like investors are becoming more conscious of the impact their investments have on the world,
Yeah.
and they want to make sure their money is supporting companies and projects that are aligned with their values.
For sure. I think that's a really positive trend.
It is. And this is especially relevant in the crypto space, given the energy consumption concerns surrounding certain cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's a big one.
We've all heard about the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining. So how are ETF providers responding to this ESG focus?
Well, we're seeing a rise in ETFs that focus on cryptocurrencies that are perceived to have a lower environmental impact,
Okay.
such as those using proof-of-stake consensus mechanisms, which consume significantly less energy than Bitcoin's proof-of-work system.
So instead of just tracking the price of Bitcoin, these ETFs are taking a more holistic approach, considering factors like energy consumption and sustainability.
Exactly. And we're also seeing ETFs that invest in companies that are working to develop more sustainable crypto mining practices,
Interesting.
or that are using blockchain technology to address social and environmental challenges.
It's amazing to see how ESG considerations are driving innovation in the crypto ETF space. It's like a win-win for investors and the planet.
I agree. It's definitely a positive development. But as with any investment, it's essential to do your research and understand the underlying assets and strategies of any ETF before investing.
Right.
And that's where CoinTalk Podcast comes in. We're here to break down complex topics and help you make informed decisions about your crypto investments.
Exactly. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment below letting us know what other crypto topics you'd like us to cover.
We love hearing from our viewers. Now, while these trends are exciting, it's crucial to remember that the crypto ETF market is still relatively young and evolving.
It's true. We're still in the early stages of this crypto revolution, and there's a lot of uncertainty and volatility.
Right, exactly. And that's why it's so important for investors to be cautious, do their due diligence, and not get caught up in the hype. Don't just jump into an ETF because it has the word Bitcoin in it. Understand the underlying assets, the risks involved, and the fees associated with the ETF.
Great advice. And that's something we emphasize here at CoinTalk Podcast. We're not financial advisors, but we're here to provide you with the information and resources you need to make informed decisions about your crypto investments.
Now, let's shift gears for a moment and reflect on the broader significance of spot Bitcoin ETFs for the financial industry as a whole.
Okay, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
What are the long-term implications of these ETFs?
Well, I think the rise of spot Bitcoin ETFs represents a significant step towards the integration of cryptocurrencies into the mainstream financial system. It's a bridge between two worlds that were once seen as separate and distinct.
It's like the traditional financial world is finally waking up to the potential of cryptocurrencies.
Exactly. And this integration has the potential to bring about greater innovation, efficiency, and accessibility in the financial market.
It's like shaking up the old guard and introducing a new way of doing things.
Precisely. And that's what's so exciting about the crypto space. It's challenging the status quo and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in finance.
But will spot Bitcoin ETFs truly live up to their full potential?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, they've sparked a conversation and brought renewed attention to the transformative potential of cryptocurrencies.
And that conversation is only going to get louder in the years to come.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important for everyone to stay informed and engaged in this evolving landscape. And that's where CoinTalk Podcast comes in. We're your guide to the crypto world, providing you with the insights and analysis you need to navigate this exciting and sometimes confusing space.
Exactly. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment below letting us know what you think about the future of spot Bitcoin ETFs. We love hearing from our viewers.
We do. And if you're enjoying this episode, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's spread the crypto knowledge far and wide.
Now let's take a closer look at some of the specific factors that could influence the future trajectory of spot Bitcoin ETFs.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. We've been on quite a journey exploring the world of spot Bitcoin ETFs. We've covered their remarkable performance, the factors driving their growth, and the potential implications for the future of finance.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating discussion. These ETFs have certainly captured the imagination of investors and sparked a lot of debate about the role of cryptocurrencies in the global financial system.
Absolutely. So before we wrap things up, let's distill everything we've discussed into some key takeaways for our CoinTalk Podcast viewers. What are the most important things listeners should remember about spot Bitcoin ETFs?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that spot Bitcoin ETFs have emerged as a powerful force in the investment world. They've attracted billions of dollars in inflows, outperformed many traditional asset classes, and demonstrated the growing acceptance of Bitcoin as a legitimate investment.
It's amazing to think that just a few years ago, the idea of a Bitcoin ETF seemed far-fetched. Now they're not only a reality, but they're thriving. It really highlights how quickly the crypto landscape is evolving.
It certainly does. And it's a reminder that we're still in the early stages of this crypto revolution. Who knows what the future holds?
Exactly. But even with all the uncertainty, one thing is clear. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have ignited a fire that's unlikely to be extinguished anytime soon. They've opened up new avenues for crypto investing, challenged the status quo of traditional finance, and forced everyone to reconsider the future of money.
You've captured it perfectly. This is about more than just an investment trend. It's about a fundamental shift in the way we think about finance technology and the very nature of value.
It's a paradigm shift. And as with any paradigm shift, there will be winners and losers, disruptions and innovations. But one thing is certain. The future of finance will be inextricably linked to the world of cryptocurrencies.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so crucial to stay informed, do your research, and be prepared for the exciting and perhaps bumpy road ahead.
And that's where CoinTalk Podcast comes in. We're your trusted guide to the crypto universe, providing you with the insights, analysis, and education you need to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape.
So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell on our YouTube channel. We've got a ton of great content coming your way, including deep dives, market updates, and interviews with leading experts in the crypto space.
And don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below with your thoughts on the future of spot Bitcoin ETFs, and share this episode with your friends who are curious about crypto. The more we can spread awareness and understanding of this transformative technology, the better.
We love hearing from our viewers, so don't be shy, join the conversation, and let's explore the future of finance together.
That's a wrap on this deep dive into the world of spot Bitcoin ETFs. We hope you enjoyed the journey and gained some valuable insights along the way.
It was a pleasure diving deep with you all.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay crypto.